So in this video, I'm going to walk you through what I mean by chalk for the assignment. And the assignment is designed to get you involved or get you thrown into what NPM is and packaging and all that sort of thing with Node.js. So let's just jump in and figure out what the heck she's talking about now. NPM is our package manager. In other words, when we're creating web applications, now we can utilize other people's code, kind of similar to what we did with jQuery or Bootstrap, but NPM then is packages or modules that are available to our Node.js applications. And it turns out that there's this website called npmjs.com, and this is a registry of all kinds of packages that are available to us in our Node.js applications. And Node Package Manager is what allows us to install or download these packages into our applications very simply, so we don't have to go through all of the trouble to do it manually. NPM takes care of that for us. You can also, if you want to get into it, write modules that you can upload and share with other users in the NPM registry. So just let me explore this website for you real quick. NPM, there's a description of what it is. And you don't need to install it. If you've installed Node.js already, Node.js automatically installs NPM for you. And there's lots of information, obviously. If you scroll down, I'm scrolling. Here's some popular packages that you might have seen or heard. We might play with Express in upcoming weeks. Not sure. Anyway, here is lots of very popular packages that are available, one of which is Chalk, which is the one we're going to be playing with today. So this is just obviously an overview. I feel like I have slow internet connection there. But I feel like, let's see, I was going to, where was I going to go for you? Was it install NPM was where I was interested? Yeah, this is what I wanted to share. So under install NPM, there is obviously more information about how to use NPM, what it is, and so forth. We should have already downloaded Node.js and NPM, but you can do it from here if you want. In a prior video, I showed you how you can check to make sure that you have Node installed by using that node-v at our command line prompt. There's how you can check to make sure NPM is loaded. So you can scroll through here. If you go further down, you'll see it says, here is some of the docs. Make sure you read the docs. So this gives you more information. Docs are very good to read, and it's very important that you start to get comfortable with reading the documentations that are available, because this is going to become more and more commonplace for us. This is also, I'll show you another way to get here, but here's information about what is NPM, installing Node.js, and how to install packages in your projects. And we'll walk through this also, but I'd encourage you to watch this video and read the documentation. I'm going to go back to the home page here. And what I'm going to do is, there's the documentation link, so that takes us back to where we just were. So that's how you can go back and forth. What I'm going to do, though, is I want to search in the packages. Even though I saw Chalk down below, I'm going to pretend like I didn't see it. And I want to search for different packages that might be available with our keywords. Ooh, lots of things available, but here's the one I'm interested in. There is Chalk. And so, ooh, that looks really pretty. So what is it that you're asking us to do? Well, Chalk is a package that gives us the ability to make pretty colors and so forth. And I appreciate this may not have a whole lot of worth in the long run, but it gets us thrown into utilizing packages in our projects. So if I scroll down and look at the documentation, and this is where I say it's really important that you start getting comfortable with reading the documentation, because all the packages have documentation that are specific to the package. This is how we're going to install that package in our project. So there's always documentation on how to do that. You can see that word NPM. So that means that NPM is going to install this particular package onto our project. And so this is how it does it. This is how it knows. This is the command that I need to print or to type in at my command line. And here is how we use that particular project, or excuse me, that particular package. And you'll see whenever you're using packages that we're going to start to use this word require and then the name of that package. So again, the documentation for the package we're using is going to give you documentation on how to use that package, and then of course information on how to not only let me rephrase that was unclear. So on how we include that package in our project, and then how we utilize the commands for that project, for that package in our project. Boy, that's a lot of tongue-twisting words. So I'll show you examples of this. So I would encourage you for your assignment then to scroll down and look at how you're going to utilize this particular package. Looks like we use the package name with a period, and then there's implementation of the different methods that are available to us for this package. So I'll encourage you to go down and look at all of that. What I'll do is I'll put this in. Okay, and so I'm utilizing Visual Studio Code for this particular situation, or this example. And let's see. This said that here's the documentation on how I install that into my project. Okay, not sure what all that means, but let's run through it and see. So remember from the last video that I can have that terminal window available to me here. So this is a way to do that. And I'm going to type in just what it says, npm install chalk, okay, and hit enter. Now you have to be connected to the internet, obviously, for this, and I have slow internet connection, but there it goes. So it installs chalk, and if you look up now in my directory, all kinds of things got installed on my behalf. So usually things that gets installed on your behalf are on this directory called node modules. And there's all kinds of things that Chalk installed for me. I don't really want to understand what all that means. I don't have to understand what all that means. I just know that that's part of this particular project. I'm good to go. All right, so I should then be able to, let's see, I should then be able to copy this in and see that it works. Not sure if that's, let's just try it. So I'm going to put it into my index.js file, save it. Let's make this bigger so we can see it all. I don't really want to see all of this in front of me, so I'm going to type in CLS, which is clear screen, so that I've got a clean slate here. And I can, if I use I can type in, let's just do this real quick. I could type in node index like we've seen before. If I've already typed that in, I don't want to keep typing it in over and over again. I can use my arrow up keys or arrow down keys, and it's going to cycle through in commands I've put in this session. So if this is already in the session, I don't have to retype all of that in. Let's see if I have one in here I do not. So this session does not have anything like how to run my index. So to remember, it's node index, and I should be able to run it. And you can see now that because I have basically imported, but because I've required this chalk package and I installed that chalk package in my directory, recognize that it's only local to this directory, I can now utilize that package in my in this index.js file. So this is what I'm looking for in the assignment that I've asked you to do for chalk. I want you to do something along these lines, and then I've asked you for a screen print, so I'm looking for a screen print of this output. One other note, and that is package.json, so I'm going to include that now. So in order to, let me just get one started. There is a command called node and initialize. And I'm just going to walk through it because I think it'll make more sense if I do that. The idea behind a package JSON file, let me write the word out just so you can see it. This isn't a valid package.json, but this is the word I'm using. So we're going to create a file that's called package.json, and this file keeps track of it's sort of a template, if you will, to our project. And so let's just walk through that and we'll see how it works. So if I type in node init, it's going to help me create that package JSON, which is pretty important to have. It's not necessary, but it's good practice, and we'll see why later. So let's just get into the habit of creating a package JSON file. That's not good. What did I do here? Node init, npm init. Okay. So I did the wrong word. I said node init and it should have been npm init. So npm init. So what I'm trying to do here is create a package JSON file automatically for me, and it's trying to give me some ideas on, it's trying to let me know I'm going to be creating this for you. So package.name. So what am I going to call this particular package that I'm writing, this application that I'm writing? Let's say I just give it chalk stuff. Okay. And, oh, I can't use capitals. That's right. So chalk stuff. Okay. Also has to be one word. Here's where you can version your software. Well, this is my first version, so I don't really need to do anything. I'm going to take the default of 1.00, hit enter. Description, here is my chalk homework, or you could just leave it blank, don't have to, but obviously its description is fairly self-explanatory. Entry point is where your application starts. It's if you've had C# in the past or Java, then it would be your main kind of thing, your entry point. But what is the entry point of our application? And it's generally index.js is a good starting point. So it took that as the default. I'm just going to hit enter because index.js sounds like a good starting point. We'll get to test commands later. We don't need to worry about that. Here you can put in your Git repository URL if you want. For now, I'm just going to hit enter. Keywords again, enter. Author, oh, that's me. I know what that is. So I'm just put my initials there. Just accept the defaults here. And then it's creating this JSON file for me. And I'm going to type in the word yes. That looks really good. And you'll see that a package JSON file has been created for me. So if I double click on it, I can look at it and see some things that are, again, a kind of a template to my particular project. The things that we just talked about are in here. And here's where this particular line was done for me automatically. And this is kind of important because this is letting the project know that we are counting on this particular module to run our application. We need the chalk package to run our application. And for simplicity's sake at this point, the idea here is if I give this package, my project, to somebody else, that somebody else will have access to the fact that I am counting on, for my application to work, I'm counting on this package to be downloaded and incorporated into this particular project. And we'll see a little bit more how this is done automatically for us and why it's important to have it in your package JSON file. But for now, it gives us the idea that I have to have this particular package installed or included for my index.js to work properly. So that's what the package JSON is helping us do. So that's a lot in one particular video, but that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for your package JSON file to be also included in your chalk project that's uploaded in GitHub. And then of course the index file that includes your chalk commands, and then the run, oops, I'm going to run it again just to use my arrow up key, not npm init, not node, which was the incorrect word. Node index means I want to run this particular file, my index.js file. And again, there's my output. So this is what I'm looking for the assignment. So this is an introduction then to importing a package and utilizing that package in our web application.